Hello everyone, Meowington here, and we are back. Not doing so hot, as you can tell at the top, we are 20 and 27. I decided to do 2 months of simming, and it has not really gone that well. As you can tell down here by the team stat rankings, our pitching is what's really letting us down right now. Our batting is surprisingly doing pretty well right now. You're going to see when I show the lineups that actually all of our starters are doing well. Like plenty fine. I think some of these are a little bit lower than they should be with the run scored and batting average because our backups, who were starters before, ended up getting beat out by their backups. So, you know, those guys who were doing poorly got a little bit more playing time that they shouldn't have had, which was my fault. And I believe these should be a little bit higher, but still pretty solid. On the home run front, we're definitely lacking a decent amount of power, but that's all right. And stolen bases, we're tied for first, but as you can tell, runs against is pretty high. Starter ERA is high, bullpen ERA is high. I'm actually very surprised this is not 14th and 15th place for all these, because what's really struggling right now is our starter ERA, and there's our one guy right here, you can see Claudio, he's actually the highest in ERA in the entire league. So he's the only reason we are 11th in starter ERA, or we'd be somewhere like 15th. Our bullpen ERA is surprisingly a little inflated, but I guess that does make sense. So moving on to I guess I'll start with the bad first. I'll ease you guys into it. So as you can see here, I'm going to sort by ERA real quick. Just so you can see some of the ERAs of people. Chapman, 6.61. He's given out 12 earned runs and 16 innings pitched, which is pretty bad. Luckily, he doesn't have too many blown saves, but he does have a decent amount. He's got 9 saves, but he has 3 blown saves. So what is that? 75% he gets the saves done, yeah, I believe. So he's at a negative WAR right now, actually. Still striking out tons of players like usual, but, you know, still the same walk issues, although he's given up quite a few home runs. And as you can see here, our starters, our 2 to 5 guys, are just doing horrendously. 4.61 ERA, 5.04, 4.96, 4.65, they're all near 5 ERA. And if you notice, Cody Reed is actually back up here because we originally had, I believe it was, where is he? Did they make him a reliever? John Lamb. We had John Lamb up here, and he pitched, I believe, yeah, 4 games with a 10.20, that's a 26 ERA. Insane whip, insane walk rate, just walking so many people, giving up lots of hits, lots of earned runs, quite a few home runs. He's pitching well in AAA now, but honestly, I might not bring him up for a while unless Cody Reed just implodes. But he's been sort of settling down a bit. As you can see, his ERA was higher, but then he sort of brought it down a bit. The home run count still a little bit high, not really striking out too many, but I mean he's kind of keeping it down a bit, not walking too many. You know, he's keeping the walks down low. His K count isn't too awful, so for now Cody Reed gets to stay. And as you can see, yeah, Ricky Davis, who had an amazing, although he only pitched 53 innings, had an amazing 53 innings last year, but he is not able to reproduce that, as you can see with his very high hit allowed, way more earned runs. I think the issue, yeah, is home runs. He's given up a lot of home runs, which have costed him a lot of earned runs. And his walk count isn't awful, and he does strike out a decent amount. So if he can just limit the home runs, he'll do a little bit better. Brandon Finnegan, same story with all these guys, just giving up a lot of home runs, giving up a lot of earned runs, giving up a lot of hits. Some have walk issues, some don't. Then you got Desclafani too, who was pitching pretty well early on, but then he really just imploded here with the 5 earned runs in the 4 innings. And ever since then, he's been trying to get his ERA back down and, you know, trying to work his K count back up. As you can see, he's kind of off his game. 5 innings pitched, he gave up 4 earned runs. So no home runs, surprisingly, but yeah, he gave up 3 walks and he didn't strike anyone out. So that kind of sucks on his part. But then we got Nelson Claudio, who I said is keeping our entire ratings down for starting pitchers because he is killing it. He's already got a 1.8 WAR. He's pitched 10 games, and he's got a 5-1 record with a 175 ERA, 67 innings pitched. So he's averaging about close to 7 innings per game, which is just fantastic. 46 hits allowed, 13 earned runs, 5 homers, 18 walks, 69 Ks for a .96 whip, 0.7 home runs per 9, 2.4 walks per 9, and 9.3 K9. And not only that, but his FIP is also very good too, I believe, or it actually might be really high, I think. Let me find it. ERA, 3.19 FIP. No, so his FIP is definitely solid. A little bit higher than I expected, but definitely not bad. So as you can see again here with the ERAs, Jacob Rame, the rookie who I got from Rule 5 draft, I believe, who only pitched in Double-A. He's only got 24 innings in the books, but he's doing pretty solidly for himself. You know, let me find it. He's keeping the ERA down in the twos, 0.172 average. His whip is low. He's walking a few too many for my liking, but that's, you know, that's fine, all right. 7.3 K9. He's gotten 20 Ks over this 24, so not bad. Corey Nebel, these are fake stats because they're not ours. They're for the Toronto Blue Jays. I traded him in a trade that I totally forgot who I gave up. I think it was him and someone else I got for, I think I gave up 3 of my prospects who weren't really panning out too well, except one of them who was like a 4-star guy that was batting pretty well in like A+. But I kind of wanted this guy because he seemed young and like I could keep him for quite a few years on my team and he'd do me more good than that other rookie would. Since you never know, someone might be really well or be batting very well in A+, and then suddenly they become terrible by the time they hit AAA. So you got Junichi Tozawa doing well too, Jake McGee locking it down, Caleb Cotham not as hot as last year, but he's doing all right. That's acceptable. Drew Storen is definitely not doing as well as I thought he would, but I guess he's not doing horrendously. I mean, I guess that's kind of teetering on the line where it's like, okay, you're kind of not doing so hot. And then here's where it gets bad. It's just immediately all our starters, Desclafani, Reed, Davis, Finnegan, and Chapman. So this is why I said that I thought it was kind of weird that my relieving bullpen ERA and stuff was so bad, because honestly, they all have pretty good ERAs and aren't batting too terribly. But I guess between Storen, Cotham, and then Aroldis' horrendous ERA, it averaged it out for our bottom guys and made it kind of high. And now you'll see. I'm gonna show you guys the lineups. Check this out. So I'm gonna do it by. Actually, let me show you the wars real quick if you guys are interested here. This is sorted by FIP real quick, and then I'll sort by the wars. So you can see Claudio at 1.8. You got 0.8 for Nebel, who's not yet on our, hasn't pitched for us. 0.3 Desclafani, McGee. You know, you got some people, and then you got the negatives here. Finnegan's at negative 0.5, 0.3 Rame. Surprisingly, Rame's at a negative ER or WAR. Huh. He seems to be pitching pretty well to be negative WAR. So has he like made huge fielding errors or something? He's made 1 error. Does that count super negatively against him? Man, WAR is strange, because he seems to be pitching well enough for me. Has he lost any games? No. WAR is strange. But here's Ricky Davis and Aroldis Chapman and Caleb Cotham in the negatives. So lineups, check this out. These are my starters right now. So if you remember earlier in the year, I had Jagailo batting every like 3rd or 4th game just to give him some time, because I wanted Suarez to get the starting spot, but I wanted Jagailo to eventually become our starting 3rd baseman. I had Carithers playing a little bit more often than this, I believe, as well. Bryson Smith was the starting left fielder, and Winker and Waldrop were sharing every 2 or 3 games. But as it turns out, Bryson Smith is actually our worst batter, and I thought he would break the streak, so I give him quite a few more at-bats than I thought I should. I give him 100 at-bats, which it seemed like enough for me that if you were gonna, stop getting out of your slump, that you were gonna do it about then. But nope, he still stayed pretty badly, so he's staying as the backup for Norioki every 5 games or like 6 games, something like that, because I think depending on like who's batting, I have him differently. And Aoki definitely deserves the starting spot. You can see him up here batting 292, 319, 404 slash line, which is definitely not bad. And the fact he's over 400 slugging when he's not really a big home run power guy is awesome, because he's got some doubles, a triple in there, and 1 home run, and not a huge amount of at-bats. So pretty solid from him. Suarez is basically our hottest batter yet again, outside of, I guess, Votto, but he's our hottest batter right now, so he easily took the spot over Jagailo, who's instead batting every 7th, who's also batting very poorly, as you can see. Carithers batting poorly as well, and then Jesse Winker, who is batting fairly poorly as well. His on-base percentage is perfectly fine. Like, he's drawing walks, but batting 227, I'd rather have Waldrop out there. He's batting 252, 326, 429. You know, he's 40 points less in on-base percentage, but he's got 30 points in average on him, and he's slugging for about 70 more. So honestly, I prefer to have Waldrop out there, and I put Winker at every 5th game. And as you can see up here, here's our main batters, basically a starting roster. For average, you got 340. Our worst average is 252 on wall drop. Like, that's great. They're batting great. Even our backup Cabrera is batting 269. He's a good backup for Barnhart. I'm happy with that. You know, sorted by average, and you got Norioki at 319 is our lowest. Even Cozart at 323 and Hamilton at 326. Our most notorious low on-base percentage, low average guys are batting pretty hot right now in the first 2 months. I mean, this happened last year, and they'll probably settle down over the next half of the. Actually, there's still a lot of baseball to go. It's not even next half, but they'll settle down eventually. But for now, you know, they're batting well. 330, 362, 367, 375, 422 on base percentage. Suarez is getting on base as if he was freaking Votto over here. He's going great. Even slugging, look at this. We got so many guys over 400. That's definitely very solid. 477 Votto, Jagielo 444. Even though he's not batting so hot, at least knocked in 3 home runs, gave us 4 doubles. Suarez again at the very top. Aoki over 400, I find that hilarious. Renda, the rookie who's never played in major leagues, his first season, a rookie season, only 0.6 WAR, but alright, that's fine, you know. WAR is calculated kind of strange, I don't really know it super well, but his slash line is 284, 330, 385, and he's snagged 5 bags without getting caught stealing. So, you know, he's doing plenty fine for his rookie campaign. Hamilton at 350 slugging. I'm pretty sure he's like a career 300 slugger. 289, 270. No, I guess he's gone a little over. Yeah, he's about 350. All right, so he's about career average slugging. So you can see by WAR here, Suarez 2.1. A lot of guys at 1, 1, 1, you know, like plus or over 1. 0.6, 0.5, 0.2. So Aoki's actually our lowest WAR at 0.2, so everyone is positive, and he was batting as a backup for a little while, so he has a little bit less games and at-bats as well, so that's why his WAR, I feel, is a little bit lower. He'd be closer to 0.5 or so. And as you can see, you know, -9 on Smith, Carithers 3. So there's probably a few games we had lost where like some of our guys were starting that shouldn't have been starting, and that was, again, my fault, but it's definitely the pitching. It's the starting pitching that's costing us, because our relievers are dropping the ball a little bit, but, you know, we still have plenty of good relievers that are doing well. I guess I should take Storin off of high leverage situations since he's sort of not showing up, but Junichi Tozawa is doing fine in high leverage. I guess I can put this guy here, Nebel, to see how he does in high leverage. Actually, I'll just leave it. I'll leave Tozawa as our high leverage guy, because he's doing plenty fine. But again, it's just our starters. Like, look at these guys. They're just, man, it's our starters. That's why I've been trading for so much pitching, because I understand how strong pitching is. You don't need the best batters in the world as long as you have solid pitching core, and that's what we're really lacking. So here's hoping that our batters stay relatively hot how they're batting, and that our pitchers, starting pitchers, at least pick it up quite a bit, because Nelson Claudio cannot carry this team on his back by himself. You know, even Kershaw isn't that much of a god. So yeah, that's our lineup, that's our pitching, and one more thing that I wanted to go through before I go to I cut this video. I'm sorry, can't even think. Is I think it's hilarious how much of a false sense of hope I got, because we started off hot, like really hot. The first game, you guys have probably, by the time I posted this, already seen the video where I sort of like shoutcast our very first game, which was back in April against the A's. And then I started simming from there on out. And the next game we pitched against the A's, we had, actually, what am I doing? I'll just go here. Desclafani blanks the A's. So Desclafani threw a complete game shutout with only 1 walk and 6 strikeouts. If I look at the actually, wait a minute, I should get my notes out, because I had some notes for stuff. Here we go. So hopefully that didn't pause the video too much. I'll see if I let it pick up. Okay, so it was 4-11-17. Desclafani got a shutout, and it was actually Bryson Smith's first big league hit. Sorry. And it was God, what is wrong with me? I can't even talk. It wasn't just a hit. It was a home run, and it wasn't just a home run. It was a grand slam, which is just, wow, like his first big league hit and he gets a freaking grand slam. It's just such a shame that this is what happened after that grand slam first hit. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a shame. And not only that, we had back-to-back shutouts. After that, Finnegan, we 8-0, shut them out. with a scoreless game on a 5-hitter. Incredible. And he gave up 2 walks, 8 Ks on that. And not only that, but Jagailo joined Smith, which with his first and second MLB hits, and his second right after was a home run. So sadly, it wasn't a home run like Bryson Smith's was on the first hit, but he did get a home run as his second hit, which I think is pretty cool. So you can see here, Jagailo won off of Kenta Maeda, so that's pretty nice to see. Kid got his first homer. Sadly, I think I might have gotten them over the plate appearances and at bats, where this is their rookie season, so they're gonna have quite a bit of a bad season, but I'm not sure. Let me see if who was it? Bryson Smith. Yeah, I think I might have gone over. I think it's like 50 at bats, or I might be thinking for pitching might be 15 innings, and for at bats might be like 100 or 150. I don't know. I'm gonna try and keep Jagailo's down because I feel like he can definitely have a good first true rookie season in the MLB. So I'm hoping maybe next year it'll be it, and I'll just keep him kind of low. I don't care so much about Bryson Smith. He disappointed me a bit, and he does seem a bit replaceable. So yeah, I'm still laughing about how I just totally stuttered over my words for that earlier. That was hilarious. But yeah, that about does it. As you can see, not really the best, but you know, what can you do? Hopefully our pitching picks it up. Here you guys can see our April. Chicago Cubs had our number, 7 straight losses to them. Oh, here, info, 8-11 in April, 12-16 in May. So here is hoping we have a far better June and July. I'm probably going to be doing both months there as well. I'm a little worried though because we do face the Cubs again 6 more times in July, and they have had us for the last 2 years now. This is the second year, so hopefully our batters stay hot and our pitching does well. I'll keep you guys up to date on the draft and the free agent international draft as well. I hope you guys enjoyed and enjoy following me on this journey through rebuilding the Reds and making them a strong team. So thanks a lot, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.